What's going on? You didn't even notice. You didn't even notice that I have a brand new intro with the new electricity going on, right? I spent like $50 on that. I'm like, editor, no one's even going to notice. So if you noticed, thank you for not letting me waste my $50 on that new intro. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate75. I'm a PGA DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at PGA DFS. I'm going to do it by helping you with a little bit of game theory, a little bit of not helping you not step on your dick, but most importantly, I'm going to do it without giving you a single fucking pick. By the way, that's what the $5 up there is. I've already had one in there. The fuck counter's on 5 tonight, okay? So there's going to be a lot of money in there. If that sounds interesting to you, hang around for the next hour. We're going to hang out, do some Q&A, go over everything you need to know, help you get better at PGA DFS, because if you don't know, the big guy be loving some PGA DFS. I've been doing it a long time at a relatively successful level, and I can help you stop destroying your funds probably better than most people. Okay, I'm not going to promise you can win. That's what the fucking touts do. I'm not that guy. You need to know, I will be drinking ranch water tonight, so the F-bombs will probably be flowing. Someone's going to probably win a lot of money because I can already see $15 in the fuck counter, and now it's up to 20. We've got a crazy week coming up. You, of course, you better have already watched my pod that I did with Tom Jacobs. Incredible. You're watching the live stream right now, Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Every Wednesday, even during football season, 7 o'clock, Lord's time zone. Don't you forget it. And this week, we're doing round 2, round 3, and round 4, Showdown, Hoedown live every day right at the conclusion of the round, which I assume is going to be in the middle of the day. So make sure you're there. Check it out. And I think I'm going to do a Sunday sweat. I'm still trying to confirm my guest. We got to wait and see. But I imagine I'll find a guest. I know. I want Sia there too, but he's got a life. I get it. So I'm going to try my best to bring you a Sunday sweat where you can watch golf with me, okay? Hey, if you've ever wanted to try out my site and you don't want to pay the money, just simply go sign up for my newsletter, which is in the description of this video. You can get a free week on the website. What a great week to get on there. And you get all my useful information put right here in one email. I encourage you to go check it out, okay? Last week, you need to know up front, the big guy has a problem saying the F-bomb. I'm trying to get better at it with this little fuck counter up here. And last week, I played a guy named Slav, 1923, flying the flag, by the way. And you know what?
Pay that man his money.
You know what, Teddy? I think you're right. Slav whooped my ass fair and square. The 5-week run of never losing is over. Slav, I owe you some money. You reach out to me. I'll pay you. Actually, he's already told me he wants to donate it, so I'll be giving away an extra ticket. You think Slav 1923? You can't even tell me who the president was in 1923. I'll give you $1 if you put it over here in the chat. All right, so if you want to play me in that, at the end, we will draw your name. Simply ask a question over here in the chat. That will make you eligible, along with the other drawings for Millionaire Maker tickets that you get to build with me, and we will split 50-50, okay? So no more than 2 questions. If you put 2 questions in the chat, first of all, I'm going to ban your ass for fucking peppering my comments. And second of all, you're disqualified, okay? 2 questions, that's all you get. The big guy's got to eat tonight, and you know what? I like to make lineups too. So, new guy in the back, what should we ask him? Fuck, he never gets it right. He never gets it right. All right, new guys, here you go. Have you made your lineups yet? You have! Every new guy this year has, especially all the plebs that come in during the frickin' majors. You know these guys have made it. So, new guy, you've already made your lineups. You're committed to them. You've got your picks. They mean so much to you. You could never get off of them. You've made that perfect lineup that you think is going to win you $1 million. It's not. But you're convinced, right? You've got that special feeling in your stomach on a Wednesday night. That's what PGA DFS is all about. It shouldn't be about that. You know what? It should be about getting a good contest. And if you're playing in the Millionaire Maker this week, which, by the way, just filled. You can literally see it on my screen. It just filled, right? So the big $25 Millionaire Maker is filled. The 4444 filled yesterday. The $25 secondary that they've put up, the main, is already halfway full. What the fuck are we doing, DraftKings? Get it figured out. Well, it's not during the MLB break this year, so there's going to be less interest. No, Bob, you're wrong. People love PGA DFS. Nobody gives a shit if MLB is playing a middle of the week, whatever they play series. So make the contest bigger. I expect more from you, DraftKings, at Showdown. Anyways, for the contests that are left out there, which, by the way, the Drive the Green is already full, too. So the 2 major lotteries are already full. At least the Drive the Green, which I can't even click on, had a really good payout structure. The secondary, it's solid, right? Only 20% up top, but look how quick that falls off. 10th place, only 167th of first. You would have been so much better getting in that big one. The one positive thing I can say about this Drive the Green is at least it's only 12,000 people instead of a bajillion. I believe that's how many's in the other one. A bajillion is the actual number. You see secondaries up everywhere. I wonder why there's so many secondaries up, DraftKings. Golly, help me help you. All right. From there, I mean, honestly, you guys got to get better at reserving your seats because, like, everything's full. Everything is full. Like, all the good contests I would tell you to go get in is full. Looks like there's still some tiers that may be available, but you know what? I don't want to play in those. Matter of fact, playing in it makes me sad. Tears. So, thank you, everybody. Okay. From there, I don't really know what's left to tell you. If you haven't reserved your contest, I guess just go, normally I would say, don't go play in this one. 1/3 to first. If you're playing it, you're a dipshit. But honestly, that's all you got left because you didn't reserve your lineups. I'm sorry, new guy. All right? Don't wait until Wednesday night to reserve your lineups. I simply say don't make your lineups until you watch the stream. I don't say not to reserve them, dude. So, you're kind of screwed. All right? That's contest selection. You should have watched my show Monday. I went over all this. I always reserve them. But of course, you still got one awesome contest to go get in. Go get in my baby right here, the Showdown Hoedown Listener League. Look at that. It's only at $11.26 of $1,500. If this doesn't fill, I hope that you have to walk around in wet socks for the rest of your life. That is the curse I put on your soul. If you don't go toss 3 lineups in this, it's $5, 3 max. Flat payout structure, reduced rake, everything you want in a contest, and oh yeah, you get a free month on my website if you finish in the top 5, so go get it now. In the description of this video, I don't want to hear excuses. Don't make me be an asshole. I know, my freaking host is the one that told me, oh, you can do 1,500. Okay, host, whatever. So I got to get it filled now, or I look like an asshole to the guy that makes me look like an asshole. Here's our winners from last week. Lumberjack, Jaw 586, Commander Trent, Dargra 8, and Gooner Herb. Like that name. There you go. That's our top 5 from last week, so make sure to get in it. You'll get a shout-out here, and you'll get a free ticket. Gooner, reach out to me for flying that flag, you motherfather. I'm giving a ticket to you for flying my flag and finishing top 5 in my contest, you badass motherfather. All right, hey, before we do anything, here's the deal I'm going to make with that. If we get 300 likes before I get to the end of Q&A, I will do 3 extra Millionaire Maker tickets. And yes, I'm giving away a lot of tickets tonight. I'm giving away over 20 Millionaire Maker tickets that you get to make with me, which, by the way, if you like Showdown more than the Millionaire Maker, then we'll do that, right? We can do that instead of the Millionaire Maker. But you win a ticket on me. We'll build it together, split the profits with you 50-50. I've already won a $25,000 lineup with somebody this year. Tell me how many YouTube hosts you know that are PayPaling people 10 grand. Doubt you know anybody, Bob. So, let's get, all you got to do, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Me and the editor are 2 independent fucks. You help us out so much when you like, subscribe, and tell a friend. We really appreciate every single one of you, okay? Here is all of our Twitter people, all right? We're doing a Twitter wheel, a YouTube wheel, and then a combined wheel, all right? So here you go. This is 5 winners from Twitter. Everybody who liked and retweeted, thank you. So many people find me on Twitter, which is hilarious because I don't give a shit about Twitter. All right, number 1, D-Rico13. Number 2, we're going through these fast. I wish this wheel didn't take so long. I feel like I could tell a joke between every one of these. Oh my God, hurry the fuck up. Jeez, I'm going to go broke doing this. U of M, Caden Known? You saw the name, all right? Hit replay, all right? We're going to be doing these. We're going to be doing the YouTube ones, and then we're going to do one where we're going to do it from the chat. So make sure you're getting those questions in. CSB RRG. I don't know if RRG. I hope that's not who I think it is. Let's see here. 2 more to go. 2 more to go, and then we're moving on to weather. Oh, wait. I already spoiled it. Oh, MSB 07, whole bunch of numbers. And lastly, I'm sorry. I've been drinking. I'm just going to get drunk while we do this. There you go. LMO, wait. Yeah, all right. LMO's another winner. I'm doing another one. Fuck that. I already know LMO's already won a drawing later in the video. So, LMO, if you're like, hey, I got screwed. No, you didn't. Trust me. Yeah, there you go. Hook setter. All right. Let's get to the weather, Bob. If you don't know, I am not a effing poor. I can afford the $18 a year to actually get the best weather projections. I don't use Windfinder like the plebs. So, let's look at it, and let me go ahead and hypothesize, all right? First of all, I'm going to go on a tangent here in a minute about weather edges, okay? If you're one of those people that said, yeah, I legit got like 3 DMs on Twitter last week from people being like, I thought there was going to be a weather edge. Okay. Your turn is coming in a minute, pal. And I'm already so tilted about this, I've already forgot the part where I say, what's the first thing we check? And you dumbasses don't even know it. It's the weather. See, that's how tilted I am. All right, the first thing you want to know is Thursday, right? Thursday, it looks like it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to tell you right now that they are going to get after this course mañana. That means tomorrow if you're not cultured like me, okay? So, why are they going to get after this course? Well, by and large, the winds are not as spicy on Thursday as we're going to see on Friday, right? Second of all, the softest conditions, as always, you'll find in the morning, right? The course is, I have 2 people who are sending me messages today who are boots on the ground. Apparently, I'm very popular in Britain, all right? Over there in Britain, they've got a big fan of DGen75. And these people, they've told me that the course is as green and as lush as they have ever seen this course, right? So with that in mind, that tells me 2 things, right? That tells me that the course is probably not super firm and baked out, right? I heard that they were spinning 9-irons in on these greens, and if you're spinning a 9-iron, you definitely are not super firm and fast, right? With that, you're going to have lower winds, you're going to have moderate temperatures, and really, you're not even going to see the sun till probably noon or 1 o'clock, right? So with all those things in mind, I think you are going to see a plethora of guys. That means a lot, guy who doesn't have a great vocab, who are going to go out tomorrow morning and roast this course, right? Now, I don't think the afternoon tomorrow is going to be particularly spicy. I think you'll still see plenty of guys go get the course in the afternoon, but you will see most of the ceiling rounds come tomorrow in the AM, right? Those guys who really shoot the -5, -6, maybe even a -7 tomorrow are going to, most of the time, 75% of the time, come from the AM, right? But in week long, this ain't Showdown, brother. We got to factor in both days. And if you go out in the morning, you got to remember there's not true wave edges here, right? It's not a true AM PM. It's a late morning, you go out late afternoon, or an early morning, you go out early afternoon, or vice versa, right? Everybody goes off 1 at the British Open. There's no going off of that 10 bullshit. As they would say, you bloody wankers over there in America, we don't go off 10, all right? I'm like, all right, whatever. Quit talking like that. So you got to remember that. But when you get to Friday, it gets a bit more complicated, okay? Friday, the wind is definitely going to be spicier. You can see those gusts are going to get up to 24, 25 miles an hour with sustained 15-mile-an-hour gusts. Once again, that's not blow you off the course bad, but it ain't nothing, Bob. It ain't nothing. So what I would tell you is that you are definitely going to want to have guys who are getting the best of it Thursday, because I think Friday you're going to see the scoring go down a little bit. But the one thing that is unanimous is in the Friday morning, it appears as though there's going to be some precipitation, right? And what does precipitation do to the course? Precipitation goes to the course and it makes it soft. And a lot of people think, oh, so I want to play the morning guys Friday. But let me just go ahead and tell you, when it rains right before a round, courses are almost always soft for morning guys. Who it really benefits is the afternoon guys, right? Not because the course is going to be super soft when they get out there, but the key is it's going to be less baked out when they get out there. So these guys in the late afternoon, you'll see the winds die down very late, because some of these guys aren't even going off till 3 or 4 o'clock. They're going to get their last few rounds in probably decently soft conditions, because I don't think it's going to get baked out on Friday if we get this precipitation Friday morning, and the winds will die down. Now, I do think Friday morning will be better scoring than Friday afternoon, but I think it's going to be relatively close. So if I had my pick of the litter, I would definitely want guys who are out there between, Thursday morning and then go out there as late as possible Friday. I think those would be the best guys you could target, okay? Now, am I telling you to go all in on this wave edge? Fuck no, I'm not, okay? That is not a thing you should be doing. There's not going to be that big of a weather edge, and the weather does tend to be more volatile in England. But if you're one of those fools that's like, well, it's Europe, you can never predict the weather, well, you're a moron. You should probably watch another channel, okay? Because we have really good weather projections, and I pay for the best ones, so we're going to look at them. And I think if I had to guess, you're probably going to see something, the AM/PM WAM have something like a quarter to a half a stroke difference, okay? Now, is that something that you should be like, well, I can't play John Rahm, he's PM/AM? No, that is not a reason to not play John Rahm. We just saw last week with Rory McIlroy. He was from the quote-unquote bad wave, and he won the tournament. As I always tell you, if a stud has their A game, it doesn't matter what wave they come from, they're going to get there, so do not overreact to that, okay? But when I'm trying to decide, do I really want to play this pivot, right? Do I really want to play a Matthew Fitzpatrick and his long neck? Do I really want to do that? Well, I'll tell you what. Or do I really want to play Matthew North Fence as my punt? Well, I'll tell you the biggest thing I would consider is what wave are they on? Are they going to be out there in the ideal conditions, ideally on Thursday and maybe on Friday? Those are the things I would consider, and that's how I would use the weather as to my advantage, right? Which brings me to an important point last week at the Scottish Open. I have heard numerous people, I had at least no less than 3 dipshits. I got to turn off my DMs. I'm getting to the point where I got to turn off my DMs. Say, hey man, I thought that there wasn't going to be a weather edge, and I thought there was going to be a weather edge and there wasn't. Okay, here's the facts, all right? Last week, I said PM AM is almost certainly going to have a wave edge. And you know what it was? It was 3/4 of a stroke to the PM AM guys, right? And maybe you don't know a lot about golf, right? Maybe you don't know a lot about golf DFS. And you think 3/4 of that's nothing, man. That's nothing. Okay, well, first of all, if you think that, once again, probably not the channel for you. But second of all, the other thing I would tell you is this. 3/4 of a stroke is a lot, okay? Everybody, you got your picks. They mean so much to you. You care so much about your picks. But literally, if I told you this guy versus this guy, one is this wave and the other one is the bad wave, one is the good wave, they're the same player, you should almost always take the guy who's going to be in the better wave simply because when all things are equal, play the weather. And how does 3/4 of a stroke play out? Well, for the guys under 7,500, the quote-unquote punts, 59% of those guys that made the cut, the cheap players, were from the good wave. Only 41% from the bad wave. There was an 18% edge in getting guys through the cut, which you know as well as I do. All you can do in PGA DFS is get a 6 of 6 through, and then after that, you're left up to the golf gods. When Saturday morning rolls around, you got nothing left but good luck. That's all you got left. There's no strategy. So you get as many 6 of 6s as you can, and you would have done it if you would have played more guys from the PMAM. But here's what's even more telling. There were 12 golfers over 9K. Only 3 of them missed the cut. Every single one of them came from what wave? The bad wave. So of the 9 players that made the cut, 6 of them were from the good wave, 3 were from the bad wave. All of it is calculated right here, right? And if you're one of those guys who think, well, that's just an anomaly, that's not how it normally is, well, first of all, quit talking like that. And second of all, realize, no, we have been tracking this. When there's a wave edge, and I tell you there's a wave edge, it is now over 12% of the punts get there more often, and the studs, it's an 18% difference, right? Yes, Matthew Fitzpatrick and Rory McIlroy and John Rahm, and these guys can come from the bad wave and still win the tournament, but that isn't what we need to worry about. We need to worry about how often they're getting 6 of 6s through, and that is playing guys from the better wave. I am not telling you this week is last week of the Scottish Open. I am not saying that at all. But I am saying if you are not a believer that playing the weather matters, then you are a moron, and that is why you always lose at PGA DFS. Okay. Let's get over to ownership. If you don't know, we've been tracking ownership for quite a while now. And last week in the Genesis, the Genesis Scottish Open, Adam Scott, he missed the cut. All right. Donkey Dick Adam Scott missed the cut. Ryan Fox, an Oompa Loompa in 3 different religions. Yeah, he did well. He did well. All right. What do you want me to say, right? Basically, you should just play the guy in Faden because all the slap dicks are getting there these days. And all the Bjork dorks, I would say they got there with the T35, right? I did not think he would be 20%. That was insane. Overall, you can see that you could have pivoted, and there were some good pivots and there were some bad pivots you could have played. But what really matters is, does the chalk really get there? I hate this narrative. Man, I hate PGA DFS. The chalk always gets there. If you think the chalk always gets there, you go play NFL and NBA for 5 minutes and then come back and look me in the eye and tell me that the chalk always gets there at PGA. You shut your mouth! Once again, it's just, we are so far into this. We're 35 tournaments in now. You can see it is almost always locked in a stalemate now at almost exactly 50-50 that the pivots get there versus the chalk getting there. You say, oh, so the chalk does get there 50% of the time. Yes, it does. But that chalk is owned on average 20%, whereas the pivots are only owned 10% and 7%. So you're getting 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 equity by pivoting. I am not telling you to pivot everywhere. The key to PGA DFS is understanding good chalk versus bad chalk, pivoting versus when eating the chalk. And once you learn that art, this is a game that can be beat, said Mike McD from Rounders. Let's get to ownership, but first let the big guy take a swing. Look at that, 275 likes. People want to be doing the giveaway tonight. I think we're easily going to get to 300. 500 sweaty tryhards in here at 718. What are we doing with our lives? All right. Oh, 276 right there on the spot. All right. Let's get to the highest owned guys this week. First of all, look, the new dynamic pricing from DraftKings, as much as I shit on them earlier, DraftKings, good job. This new dynamic pricing is so much more fun. The only thing that FanDuel has ever had on DraftKings is more dynamic pricing, right? With a bigger disparity between the highest owned, the cheapest guys and the most expensive guys. And now DraftKings has embraced that and it adds a new level of strategy to it, which I truly appreciate. So DraftKings, thank you for not sucking at this, okay? Now, let's get to ownership this week, and it's honestly, I'm wondering if this is going to be accurate because with the new pricing, we don't know how people are going to want to build when they have these new $5,500 options, these new $5,600 options. And when you have multiple guys in the 5 figures, right? We have 7 guys who are 10,000 or higher, which is very, very rare. But the one thing that I know is people will always play a value. And Arrow Hatton is underpriced. The man is underpriced. 9,400 with the way he's been playing. He is legit having one of the 4 best seasons on the entire, in all of golf. The guy is tearing it up. I don't know if you know this, but Arrow Hatton is British, and this is the Open Championship, which I believe, what is it? Yeah, it's in Britain. Good job, guy in the back. Sit down. All right, good. So Arrow Hatton checks every box, right? He's playing well. It's British. He's a hunchback. He's got every box you want to check, the man's got. So Tyrrell Hatton is probably going to be the highest owned guy. And I love Tyrrell Hatton. Matter of fact, if you made me pick 4 guys that were going to win this, or I will have my right testicle removed, Arrow Hatton would be one of those guys. I love Arrow Hatton. I think he's great. But you know what? That doesn't change the fact that Arrow Hatton, the man is Donkey Chalk. We don't do it. We don't play the Donkey Chalk except when we do. All right? If there's ever a time to play Donkey Chalk, I think it is definitely Arrow Hatton. But here's what I will tell you. If you're going to play him, you need to be aware of what it does to the rest of your lineup. When you start eating 2, 3, 4 pieces of chalk in a lineup, you basically are getting boxed into a corner of playing the exact same lineup as everybody else. Don't be that guy. Next, Tommy Fleetwood. Did you know Tommy Fleetwood? I've heard he's also British. He's a bit of a wanker, though. He's not cool like Terry Hatton. And so Tommy Fleetwood, coming in at 9,300, has also been playing incredible golf this year. He seems like a guy that is certainly trending towards a win. He seems like a guy that is probably underpriced. When you look at the guys who are just above him, Tommy Fleetwood should probably be 9,300. And oh yeah, we got the bullshit narrative street. And if PGA DFS loves one thing, it's a bullshit narrative. And Tommy Fleetwood's from this neck of the woods. So you got to play Tommy Fleetwood. This is home course. He played it growing up every Friday. That's not true, but that's what people want to say. So you know, my man, Tommy Fleets, the man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk. We don't play him because, except when we do. Sometimes we play Tommy Fleetwood, okay? Those guys are just too good of values. They're too good of players, and last time I checked, they're both bloody British. Now, I will warn you, I am an American, so to us, I know Bobby Mack is from Scotland, but I'm an American, so to us, it's just all the same, right? He's fucking British, all right? You got to just know that. That's how we think here in America. We don't know that there's other countries. I think that there's one called Canada, but we cannot confirm that. So, Bobby Mack, I have higher than everybody else, okay? Everybody else in the industry, I look at other people's ownership projections, and I have him a good 4 to 5 points higher than most people have him. And that's because I know one thing. People love a frickin' value. And Bobby Mack coming in at 19%, probably, I would bet almost certainly going to be one of the 4 or 5 highest owned guys on this slate. Why? Well, he just finished second last week. If Rory doesn't pull a shamrock right out of his ass, Bobby Mack wins that tournament. Bobby Mack played unbelievable on Sunday. Bobby Mack is a good link style player. Bobby Mack is tremendously underpriced. Bobby Mack checks every box you could ever want. I don't give a shit. Bobby Mack is without question the definition of the man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk except when we do. If you love Bobby Mack and he's going to finish T3, you go play him. If you want to box out 20% of the field because his soul is still on the floor from what Rory did to him, then maybe you fade that donkey dick. All right, from there, I think we get into Rory and Scotty. I think we can lump them together. Both of them coming in at pretty reasonable ownership. These guys' win equity is off the chart compared to everybody else, right? And when their ownership is off the chart, you got to ask yourself, like, should I play them? And the answer is under 20%, I think they're both very viable. I'll be the first to tell you, Rory, he's a fucking loser. He is. But you know what? He accidentally won last week, right? And with that, I think that his ownership, I was for sure would be over 20%, but it doesn't seem as though it's going to get there. And Scotty Scheffler is, I would say, definitively the best golfer in the world, and his game travels to any course, and I think he's creative enough to compete at a link-style course. So with that, I find both of these guys' ownership to be a little high, but both very reasonable. So with that, I think I got to give them both. I don't love it. It's a little high, but like, if I like these two guys, I am certainly not getting off Rory or Scotty because of this ownership, right? If you are committed to these guys, you simply just go get them 35, 40% of your lineups. You have tremendous leverage on them, and you feel good about playing them. I don't worry about that at all, right? My boy Tony Finau, to me, the biggest value on the slate coming in at just a mere 8,200. Tony Finau, without a question, should be at least 9,200 in this field. Coming in at 8,200, I just feel like he's undervalued, but he's also been playing like shit. That is the only thing. Actually, he hasn't been playing like shit. He's been playing below average. And so because of that, I think that will keep his ownership suppressed just a little bit. But if he does come in at 15.6%, I'm in a good mood, and I want to play that tall drink of water. I'm going to give me a chalk, all right? I don't love it. That's a little high for low 8Ks, especially when there are so many delicious pivots in the 8Ks. But Tony Finau is a better golfer than all those guys in the 8Ks. That's a fact, okay? I know he hasn't been playing like it recently, but he is. From there, we get to Cantlay, we get to Ricky, we get to Hovland. I think you can lump all these guys together. These guys, there's this weird range right here. Right when you get under the 10K guys, Hovland down to about, 9,400 or so. There's a lot of guys that are right there that are all in that 12 to 15% range, and all of them are kind of in line with each other. And for how good Cantlay, Fowler, Hovland, all of these golfers are, I think you just be happy about it, and I think you can safely call all of these guys okay chalk, right? Like I don't even really consider these guys chalk, but people in this industry don't understand the term. So if you want to call these guys chalk, I say they're okay chalk. You do got to worry about some of them getting steamed up tonight, but if they come in at that percentage, I'm very happily playing a Hovland, a Fowler, or a neckbeard at 15%. That is definitely where I'm at, right? Which brings me to Corey Connors, the guy, he's got the Gollum eyes just going both directions. And Corey Connors coming in at 15% at 7,700, noticeably higher than everybody else around him. And but you know, like, he hits fairways, and that's all that matters here. Okay, you keep telling yourself that. Corey Connors, 7,700 at 15%. I think I'd rather take a soldering iron to the eye. Corey Connors, that man, the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. We don't do it. Except when we don't. Okay, you go play all the Corey Connors you want. From there, where are we at? Old Denny McCarthy, all right? You got to watch out with Denny. Denny's playing the best golf of his life. Denny is a legit golfer, and I think that this course is right on the cusp of being too long for him, but not quite there. Denny McCarthy is a legit golfer who is playing unbelievable, and I think his game carries over to link-style golf. But he is 12%, right? Which, when you get down to the low 7Ks, anytime you're above 10%, it instantly puts up red flags. But you also have people like Harmon down there who are also soaking up ownership. Benny Ann is soaking up ownership, guys like that. So he's not the only one down there with ownership. So it is with great reluctance and great sadness that I cannot give him donkey chalk. Denny McCarthy is simply, I don't love it. I don't love it. But if you're married to Denny, you just make sure to get him in 25% of your lineups, right? Which brings me to the last one. Padraig Harrington, who I believe is 107 years old. My God, I had to Google that. And he is going to come in, I believe, other than Bobby Mack, the highest owned guy in all of the 6 and 5Ks. We got to say 5Ks now. That's kind of weird, right? And Padraig Harrington coming in at a smooth 6,600 at the age of 107 years old, right? He was already retired by the time that Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened. Oppenheimer reference. Sorry for all, the 4 of you that got that. Padraig Harrington coming in at 8% at 6,600 and at 107 years old. You don't even need to know what I'm going to do here. That man, the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. Especially when they're 107. All right, especially when they're 107. What are we doing? There you go. That is a breakdown of some high-owned guys. If you want to see all my ownership, it's over on my website, right? But what we have to know is when me and tons of other people who put out good ownership are doing this, there's going to naturally be guys who get steamed up on a Wednesday night and guys who moonwalk back in their ownership, right? This community has gotten infinitely smarter at week-long at playing the ownership game, and guys who were oversteamed and going to be over-owned have started to moonwalk, and good players who are being under-owned are getting steamed up. It has become a very, very smooth, functional market when it comes to ownership equity. And with that, we need to add a new segment, which is our Steam versus Moonwalk, all right? The Steam guys are guys that I am predicting are going to come in higher owned than what they are currently being projected, largely because they're too good of values, or there's too much narrative, or the big names in the industry are touting them, right? That's like the holy trinity of things that will bump you up on a Wednesday night, okay? And those guys this week, I think that you're going to get steamed up. We're going to start with old Tony Finau. Tony Finau, I've already stated, is at least $1,000 underpriced. He is definitively a better golfer than Cam Young and other guys around the $9,000 mark, yet he's 8,200. Yes, he has not been playing great, but he is historically a tremendous link-style player. He has a good track record at the Open Championship, and if I know one thing about people, people love a freaking value. So Tony Finau, without question, I think tomorrow if I click in the big millionaire maker and he is 20% owned, it won't surprise me. So I think Tony Finau, the man is getting steamed up tonight. Yeah, that's right. We got a new sound effect. That's right. All right. Adam Scott. All right. Oh my God, there's 600 people in here. What the fuck are we doing? That's like 100 more than I've ever had, you sickos. All right, from there, Adam Scott. Adam Scott is a guy that missed the cut last week on the number. Trust me, I know. He was in all my lineups, you fucking donkey dick. Now, Adam Scott is back this week. He's $7,900. He is a guy that rallied on Friday and played well. He is a guy that is in the quote-unquote better wave. He is a guy that is undervalued for what his upside is, and I have him coming in at just a mere 8%. If I know anything about the whores in PGA DFS, there ain't no way they're letting Adam Scott get off, pun intended, at 8%. So you're going to see Adam Scott steamed up tonight, brother. And then lastly, my guilty pleasure, a man that has won me far too much money in my life, not enough to get himself some braces, but enough to make me a very happy man. Louis Oosthuizen, right? Louis Oosthuizen, the South African farmer, is coming in at $6,900. And here's what we know about Louis. The man is a killer when it comes to majors, okay? Yes, we haven't seen him in a while, but I am pretty sure he's had plenty of time to get his bed moved over to Liverpool so he can sleep and be comfortable at night and not have his soul back. And Louis is a killer at these majors, and Louis is $6,900, and Louis has had a pulse over on Live, and Louis is a guy that when he is locked in, is just, I mean, he is meaner than a he's tougher than a $2 steak. So, Louis Oosthuizen, I feel very confident we are going to see him something stupid like 12% tomorrow, so that man steamed up tonight. All right. From there, you better get ready for these moonwalk ones. You ready? The first one I think is Xander. I got Xander only at a mere 13%, what seems really low for a guy that could possibly do a little bit of moonwalking. But here's the thing. Xander's in a spot that we call the squeeze. When you look at the guys just above him and just below him, people want to play those guys. Xander kind of melted down on Sunday. Xander doesn't exactly have the greatest track record on link-style courses. So I think Xander, just by product of getting squeezed, is going to be our first moonwalk guy. And I think you might see him at like 9 or 10%, which is crazy to say. So I think Xander's going to moonwalk. That's right. He's going to moonwalk. All right, from there, Justin Rose is another guy that I currently had at 12%. But Justin Rose, if you looked at the Scottish Open last week, kind of, how do I put this mildly, sucked balls. And he hasn't been playing great as of late. Yes, I get it. He has a good history. But you got to look, when he is by guys like Corey Connors like that, they're going to naturally squeeze him. So I think Justin Rose is a guy you're going to see come in a little bit lower owned than we're anticipating. I would suspect single digits. So my prediction is we're going to see some Justin Rose moonwalk. Thank you, Michael. All right. And lastly, Patrick Reed. Look, I love Patrick Reed. I want to play Patrick Reed. But here's what I know. Patrick Reed, 11%. Even though he may be a good value, most people don't like Patrick Reed. And you would be amazed at a general public tournament like the Open Championship, how many people just play the guys they like, oh, I like that Spieth kid and that Ricky Fowler. I like the cut of his jib. And they play guys like that. That's what they do. Grandpas want to play guys they like, not assholes like Patrick Reed. I cannot believe Patrick Reed will actually come in at double digits, especially when no one has seen him. Out of sight, out of mind. So Patrick Reed, how else do I say it? The man's going to moonwalk. Thanks, Michael. There you go. That is the Steam versus Moonwalk Wednesday Night Drift. Let's get over and talk about the model. But before we do, don't forget, go sign up with the Solver. It is the best optimizer out there. I've had quite the run this year based largely on the fact that I'm using my projections. See right there, projections Degenerate 75 in there for Showdown. Round 1, Round 2, Round 3, Round 4, and of course, week long, aka Kicking the Nuts, are in there. Now, is it magically going to make you win? No, you still got to do the legwork. You still got to make good player pools. But if you do, it will make the best version of those player pools. I know what you're saying, new guy. I'm just a casual man. I don't do optimizers. Well, first of all, they'd help your game tremendously. And second of all, it's not out of this world expensive. $25 a month. Not only get you the optimizer, it gets you all my projections automatically loaded into it. All you simply got to do is use this landing page, Showdown hoedown symbol. If you do that, you will get the optimizer and my projections all for $25 a month. I highly encourage you to do it. Check it out. Link in the description, you motherfather. Let's get to some YouTube. This is all the people that left YouTube comments. More Millionaire Maker tickets. Let's do it for all of you people. Here we go. Number 1, LA Quake. Oh, shit. What is it? 1988 in the World Series? Who got that reference? Maybe it was 89. I can't remember. There was an earthquake during a World Series. Read a book. All right. Number 2. The bread of all trades. There you go. We're doing lineups. We can do Showdown or we can do the Millionaire Maker. I got plenty reserved. If you want to do it, simply shoot me a DM on Twitter or on Discord if you're already over there. We'll get it done. The Giggles 25. Let's go. Giggity. All right, two more to go. We're still doing some for everybody who's in the chat, and we definitely got over 300 likes. LA Quake, what the fuck is this guy? He doesn't count. LA Quake, get that shamrock out of your ass, Rory. All right, we're doing two more because LA Quake, you can't win two. I'm sorry, I'm trying to spread the love. All right, Mike H. Jet. And lastly, before we get to it, hey, by the way, if we get to 400 likes, I'll do another giveaway. I'll do 4 at the end, all right? So drop the like, up to 372, you sweaty tryhards. Razor Sharp, 7466. All right, let's get over to the model, new guy. If you don't know, like the model, other than ranch water, is like life, and it's everything that I care about. So we're going to talk about my model, because if somebody's not number one on my model, I'm like not even considering them. That's sarcasm, new guy. Pump the brakes. Things I looked at this week. Ball striking, all right? I want to know guys who've been ball striking recently, all right? Which, by the way, that right there pretty much already excludes all the Euros and the Live guys because we don't have strokes gained data from there. I want to know around the green on short rough. The big thing that a couple of my sources told me today, which I already knew but was confirmed today, is the rough around this course. You're not going to see PGA Championship or U.S. Open rough where it's really, really thick, 3 feet off of the green. You're going to see really, really thin, shaved off edges around. All right, the quote-unquote rough. You're going to see a lot of runoff areas. I don't think it would be crazy to see all Stewie Sink, 108-year-old Stewie Sink, busting out the Texas wedge this week, right? You're going to have guys chipping off of tight lies, not out of fluffy lies. That is a different game, and I think you need to consider that. I looked at approach over their last 12, right? I looked at good drives. You are going to need to be in the fairway here. If you're not, you're going to be in trouble. I will warn you, though, with the course being super green and more soft than we're anticipating, I think driving distance is going to matter more than people think, right? I think the short hitters are going to be in a disadvantage if this course doesn't play firm and fast because you're not going to get the runouts you normally do. So I am kind of looking at guys that I think are bombers slightly more now that I'm seeing what could possibly be softer conditions. From there, I looked at par 4 scoring from that 450 to 500 range. That's where this course is really going to kick your asses on those longer par 4s. Proximity from 175 plus. Off the tee. More than anything this week, I really weighted off the tee. As you can see, I basically put it on here twice with good drives and off the tee. We're going to have slower greens. It's that same fescue, Poana, bent mix bullshit they had last week. You're going to see plenty of that. So I think you're going to have slower greens. And of course, I wanted to see guys who play well on firm greens. But based on the current reports today, I think we might need to change that to medium or soft greens. And just in a shocking bit of news, Scheffler and Rory are number one in my model. Who would have ever thought that these two guys would be number one in my model? Truly insane. Truly insane. I would have never guessed it, okay? When you make a model, you got to always be careful with models. First of all, you got to understand that Live data, the Japanese tour, the Korean tour, Live, all of those, they don't have strokes gained data. So all of those guys that plan those tours regularly, they're not getting any of their data counted on almost any server that you look at, right? From there, you also have to consider that it's going to be biased towards the best players. Yes, the best players pay well in certain conditions because they're the best fucking players, okay? So you can't lean too hard into models. I'm telling you, models, especially at weird tournaments like this where so many guys have wonky data, you should really lower down how much you take, information you take from your data. I would put way more information or way more emphasis on information that like Ron Kloss tweets out about like who plays well on link style courses than I would a lot of stuff in my model. All right, so here we go. Let's just talk through it. Scheffler and Rory are going to be not highly owned, but much more high owned than anybody else in the 10K, which is great news if you love Rahm, Cam Smith, Brooks Koepka, Xander Schauffele, and Victor Hovland. I think you're getting all those guys. Their win equity versus what they're going to be owned is insanely low. So if you're loving these guys, I think that this becomes the pivot, right? You begin a lineup with one of these guys, you can almost get chalky as shit with the rest of your lineup because that will be such a different build if you begin your lineup with Cam Smith, Brooks Koepka, somebody like that, right? Especially if you pair them together because the only guys that are going to be paired up here are probably going to be Scheffler and Rory. People aren't going to want to take Scheffler and go grab a Xander because that really limits what you can do with the rest of your lineup. People that take Scheffler are almost always going to skip down and grab Hatton and Fleetwood with the second guy in their lineup. And when you think about that roster construction thing, well, I really want to play Scheffler too. Okay, we'll just play Scheffler in a different way than everybody else is. When you take Scheffler, go grab one of these expensive guys with him, or drop all the way down here to the low 9Ks or the upper 8Ks, right? That is a way that you can use Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy and use them dramatically different than everybody else in the field, and you can still play the guys you like without playing them the same way that every other donkey dick out there is playing them. From there, you get into this really weird range right here. Hovland, Cantlay, Fowler, Xander. All these guys I feel like are very reasonably owned. If you have a hot take on any of these guys, I think you can get them in 30-40% of your lineups, and you're tremendously leveraged on them, and all of them offer real win equity, right? Of course, Spieth and Fitz are the ultimate pivots here. I think both of them will be right around 5% owned, which is crazy. Yes, I heard the bullshit that Fitzpatrick, roar, 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 I don't have any expectations this week. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Anytime I hear something like that, autoplay, right? You know how I feel. When nobody wants to play Jordan Spieth, what do I always tell you? From there, Morikawa was a guy I thought would be super chalky this week, but I think Morikawa is just getting squeezed because people realize they can move up to definitively better players just right above him, or they can take the price discount and just go hop on Hatton and Fleetwood. So Hatton and Fleetwood are really squeezing everybody around them, right? Dustin, Lowry, both of them I thought would probably both safely be 15%. They're just not going to get there because that ownership is being soaked up by Hatton and Fleetwood. From there, you, as always, how often do I got to say this? We get into the great pivot range of the 8Ks. The 8Ks, we might as well just start calling them the bastard child of DraftKings because they are always getting forgotten about. And what do we got this week? We have Cam Young, Hideki, Bryson, Justin Thomas, Sam Burns, Max Homa, Sung J M, all completely under-owned. All of them will definitely be under 10%. And all of those guys have, at worst, T3 upside, right? And I would say probably at best they could all definitely win this tournament, right? Wyndham Clark is literally the only guy in the mid to upper 8Ks who's getting any ownership, but even his is very, very reasonable, right? From there, you get down here. Tony Finau is going to be that guy that I think is just going to soak up that ownership. People are going to say, why the hell would I play Sung J M when I could play Tony Finau? This is why I think Tony Finau gets steamed up tonight, or as my man Michael would say, so, you got Tom Kim and Justin Rose, who are both coming in at reasonable ownership. I get the Tom Kim coming off a great week. The Justin Rose is a little bit weird to me. I get that he looks good in the model, but once again, who gives a shit about your model? Adam Scott, I already told you I think he'll be steamed up. Taylor Gooch is a guy that is coming in good form off of the Live Tour, but at some point you can't play all these guys, right? Somebody's going to soak up this ownership. My bet is going to be it's Finau, and then it's Scott. And then it's Corey Connors. Those three are going to be the big suckers of ownership, right? Which makes guys like Jason Day, Keegan Bradley, Joaquin Neiman, Sahith Theegala, Harris English all super, super, super low owned, right? Some people are going to play Patrick Reed, sure. Russell Henley, Denny McCarthy, Brian Harmon are going to get ownership, but that leaves all these tremendous pivots in this range. Oh, Ropat Harris English, Siwoo Kim, Abraham Answer, Adrian Morant, Kurt Kitayama, Seamus Power. And no, I do not know why Seamus Power drew last week, but I'm telling you that I am not so scared that I can't play a 0.9% on Seamus Power, right? You get down to there, and this is where it starts to get really interesting because we have a new feature on DraftKings that we've never had. In that, we have all these guys that are normally like $7,300, $7,400 golfers are now all in the 6Ks, like Louis, Bobby Mack, Jordan L. Smith. These are guys that we're getting a $500 or $600 discount on because they have decreased the pricing. They've made the pricing more dynamic. And when you move the guys from $6,000 down to $5,500, what you don't think about is how that impacts everybody above them. Basically, everybody from $7,500 or lower is $500 cheaper than you would normally expect to see them, right? I think Jordan Smith, even though he might catch some steam tonight, was one of the sleepers that I like this week. The Bjork Dorks got there last week, and now nobody wants to play this slapdick this week. Not sure what that's about. I'll go right back to him. Emiliano Grillo is a guy, when I think of exactly who I want, a dude who plays on the fairway, who's good with his long irons, and who is playing good golf so far this year. Emiliano Grillo seems like a nuts play. Yes, I get it. He doesn't have a great track record at the Open, but I don't give a shit. I will play some Grillo. From there, you just have all kinds of really interesting guys. I mean, guys like JT Poston, Andrew Putnam, Tom Hoagie, Dietrich, Taylor Moore. These are like legit PGA golfers that are all going off at like 6,400. It's just crazy. There's really good golfers. This Ewan Ferguson, he's gonna get popular, right? Enough people will play Ramsey. People will play Seam. People will play North Fence. People are gonna play these guys. The key is, how do you play them and not play them like everybody else? And the answer is simple. When you want to play these guys that are $6,300 and less, just don't pair them with Rory and just don't pair them with Scheffler, and you're already going to be dramatically different. Take one of them and go put them with a bunch of 8 or 9K guys. Now you're getting 5 stud golfers, and you just need one punt to get there. When you play one of these punts with Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy, you're often going to have to also put them with another $6,500 punt just to make the lineup work. And you don't want to be playing 2 or 3 punts in a lineup, because what are the chances that those guys ever get there? It's not likely, Bob. It's not likely. So there you go. This new dynamic pricing is awesome. DraftKings, thank you for doing it. It adds a new layer of strategy, and anytime there's a new layer of strategy, you should always try to take advantage of it, because we don't get a lot of this. The PGA DFS market has gotten way smarter and way sharper, so anytime something new comes, people are going to be slow to the party to adjust to it, okay? Which brings me to, who is the one guy I am definitely not playing this week? Well, it makes me sad, because he was obviously one of the first guys I thought of this week, and I really wanted to play, but you know me. Anytime a guy is in the 6Ks and he is above 10%, I don't play him. When he's above 15%, I wouldn't play him if my life depended on it. And when they get damn near 20%, I would rather take 17 swift kicks of the nuts before I would play them. So the one guy I am definitely not playing this week, with great sadness, Bobby Mack, I can't do it, brother. I can't do it. You're donkey chucking. I'm not going to play you. I get it. If he finishes T3, you'll spike the football. Ooh, I won. No, you didn't. You didn't win. You think you won, but you played donkey chalk, and so did a million other people. Which brings me to the more important question. Who is the one guy I'm playing this week? And I gave a lot of thought to this one. No one is really jumping off. Of course, I want to play Scotty, right? Scotty's great, right? He's good. Of course, I got my guys I want to play. But who is the one guy I want to play that kind of could go win this and nobody wants to play? A man that constantly gets disrespected as a top 5 golfer in the world. A man who can win this tournament. A man who has a little bit of bad boy to him. A man that doesn't give a shit what you think. Kind of like me. I respect that. Oh, yeah. And he's kind of that guy that you hate that you love, right? So the one guy I'm playing this week, and Jesus, I hope you were a child of the 90s so you get this reference. The one guy we're definitely playing this week, well, I think we need a little bit of intro music, because he's a killer. So the one guy we're going to play this week is a dude that is not afraid to go out there and dominate a tournament and doesn't give a shit what you think. The one guy we're playing this week, we're playing Cam! We're playing Cam! We're playing Cam! We're playing Cam! Okay, sorry. I didn't practice that at all. I promised myself I wouldn't practice that, okay? I promised myself I wouldn't practice that. Let's get to some more drawings. And thank you, Jared Bass gets the Heartbreak Kid, all right? Hey, before we get to the drawing, make sure to go check out my site, degen75.com, the fastest growing community in PGA DFS. That I can fucking assure you. And it is the best community out there. I don't deal with all the Twitter cool guys, right? I don't deal with that shit. If you want to come over and talk shit in my Discord, your ass will be gone, because I don't need your money. I'm a special position that I'll boot your ass. If you ever want to be part of a special community that doesn't have toxic fucks and, oh yeah, does a little bit of winning, come check it out. You want to know about that winning? Let me tell you about my winning. This is just from last week. Shalab? He told me how to say it. I've already forgot. I've been drinking, right? Look at these guys. He won 10,000. Sean winning first. Crack Drafter winning first. Jeff winning first. X-Striker winning first. Ricardo winning first. X-Striker winning first. Jay Bannock. The man's a legend. Just another GPP. And oh yeah, my dude. Shalob. Shit, I already forgot how to say it. You know I love you, brother. Took second place in the big contest last week for $100,000. And don't forget about all my other dudes, Mike and Patriot and Yanni and Okie I mean, just unbelievable the amount of winners we've been having. And look at all those mother father flags. I dare you to find somebody else flying that flag, or another site flying that flag, or flying their symbol more than that flag is flying. And of course, I have the best tool in all of PGA DFS called the Rosetta Stone. Has everything you need to make the most informed decisions. I do it for round 3, round 4 showdown, and of course week long. It is the best tool out there. It ain't gonna give you a single pick, because if you need picks, you can go to the fucking tout site, you loser. I don't want you. All right, from there, We had so many people this week retweet, like, leave comments on YouTube that it literally broke the wheel. So we had to do a randomized drawing for our $1,000. We're going to do some in the chat, but here was our ones from everybody. This was from everybody in a big pool. Alvaro Zertucci. I don't know how to say this. Zertucci, I guess. You win a 333 ticket with me tonight. Justin Kirshner, if he doesn't reach out to me, you get the ticket. I want to give that ticket away. Millie Maker tickets was LMO132. I told you were going to win. B. Stadell, Hungy024, and what is that? Farhan Islam 8257. Those are our winners. Thank you for liking and retweeting. Thank you for leaving comments on the YouTube videos. Editor, down here in the chat right now, I want 5 winners, and the 6th name is going to be to play me in the fuck counter because I think we just got up to $100 and I need somebody to take that money from me, okay? So, let's see. The first one is Brent Harris. Brent, reach out to me on the YouTubes or on the Twitters, okay? Or not on YouTubes. On Twitter or on the Discord. Kevin Marr. There's another one. That's 2. And we can do Showdown or we can do the Millionaire Maker. It's whatever you guys prefer. Shaloob. There you go. I'm sorry, Mike. You know I love you, Mike. Joseph Pratt. That's 3. Shaloob. Okay. I'm sorry. Hey, I owe you a ticket, all right? Although you should probably pay for the ticket. You're about to be a millionaire. Wolf99. There you go. That's 4. 2 more. Ray Martin, and the last one to play me in the F counter. Simply send me a contest. We will play for the 100. Oh, there'll be more in there. Don't worry. I'll cuss some more. No, not Chris. I played Chris last week. Somebody else, editor. Somebody else. I played Chris last week. He wanted to support a giveaway. By the way, Chris is supporting one of these tickets I'm going to give away at the end. 400. Crypto Don Juan. There you go, Crypto Don Juan. You're in there. Guys, go get in my tournament now. It's at 11:19. Let's see if anybody's got in there. It's in the description of this. Get it filled. Tell a friend. Tell your grandma. Send it to your college friend. 3 max $5. Get in there. Let's get over to the questions. Let's do it. I'm going to drink because you know what? I got to stay up really late tonight making lineups. I'm probably not even going to get to sleep. Remember, 2 questions max. Editor, if somebody asks more than 2 questions, you ban their ass. Oh shit. Editor, did all the super chats disappear? We got to change that shit. I can't get to them in time. Editor, send me a list of everybody that did the super chats. I want to shout them out. I appreciate every one of you that did super chats. You're very cool for doing that. The editor has not eaten in about 4 days. He is very excited. All right, if I don't see a question mark, I'm not answering. Let's start with Billy. So there's a weather edge last week, eh? Guess not everyone shipped it last week with their takes. The whole weather doesn't matter, people. You're doing the Lord's work. Keep thinking weather doesn't matter, and I'll keep playing the guys in the better conditions, especially at Showdown, you dipshits. All right, from there, I feel you low-key make fun of Pat Mayo talks, or no. Eric G, let me just tell you something. I would never make fun of Pat Mayo. I will say this very sincerely. I think Pat Mayo's the fucking goat of this industry. He is the example of what everybody should be. He doesn't take himself too serious. He never big dogs anybody. He's the GOAT. If you ever think I'm talking shit about Pat, you don't know my brand. I'm a Pat fan. Literally, when he had me on a show, I was gushing like a little fucking schoolgirl. I was so excited. Love that man. I'm Ron Burgundy. I don't know, are you? What's the most important this week? Bunker play or putting? Look, the bunkers here are so punitive, I don't even know if you're really going to be able to get out of them and save your strokes. So I would like to say putting, but I would say more specifically, Wolf, putting on slow surfaces. Joanne knowing Calvin Coolidge because Warren G. Harding died. Joanne, I owe you a buck, ma'am. Weather Edge was the first thing I learned here. There you go, brother. Play the game. Which player from Live has the best chance to win this tournament? Let's get over here to the model. Cam Smith, all right? You think I just did that whole thing and not going to celebrate Cam Smith? Patty Harrington, worth a serious look? I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think Patty Harrington makes sense. I was interested in Patty Harrington until I saw 8%, and then I thought, not a chance in hell, Bob. Not a chance in hell. Oh, shit. He's bringing all the super chats up. Let's go. Mom, where's the meatloaf? Oh, I'm eating right after this, old TPT Golf. I think that's your name. Can Tom Kim be playing as well as he has been? Look, maybe Tom Kim on links courses is a real thing. That could be a real thing. By the way, editor, at 8:03, I want you to draw. We got 400 likes. Do 4 more Millionaire Maker drawings for me at, what's it called? 8:03, okay? Moving on. Moving on. Is it a decent strat to only play pivots in your studs? No. This is a big thing that I see a lot of noobs, like people that want to be good at DFS that aren't good, Tim, is they think that it's all about pivoting. Pivot. Here's what I do. In my Millionaire Maker, I do 2 to 3 pivots, and in my single entries, I do 1 to 2 pivots. That's really all it takes to be really different than a lot of people. Okay, if you want to go play 5 pivots, yes, 2 of them may get there, but the other 3 miss the cut, and then you're no better off. With softer conditions, Bomber have a bigger edge. I do agree with that, EOW 2398. A lot of numbers there. What percent would you, 6,000 player, anybody over 5%, I wouldn't give a second to in the 5Ks, Monday Dynamo. All right, lots of decent lineups leaving cash on the table. Is it due to the lack of 8K options? Yeah, well, I think it's really just this. If you want to play a 5K guy, and a 6K guy, you can literally do almost anything you want with the rest of your lineup, especially if you're not playing Scotty or Rory in that lineup. It makes it very easy to leave $800 on the table and not bat an eye. Is playing Scotty and Rory in the same lineup DFS suicide? I will tell you this. You're basically going to have to nail probably 2 $5,500 guys or 4 $6,000 guys, and I don't think either one of those are very likely. That's what I would say. Thoughts on Gooch and Wallace? I was warm to Gooch until I saw he was getting some ownership. Matt Wallace, he's kind of started playing again, and I always love Matt Wallace at an Open Championship. So if I had to choose, I would say Wallace, but that's mainly just because he's lower owned. Thoughts on Louis Oost? Finally back and playing? Okay, dude, I'm a Louis slut. You need to know that, so I'm very biased. I'm in. Thoughts on Matsuyama and Woodland? Gracias. So Decky, he just doesn't have great links course history, but if he's going to be 3%, I almost feel like they're forcing me to play him, Sam. Gary Woodland, I was interested, but 6%, get out of here. Polly, tell him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you, Polly. How gross is Connors at 15%? Disgusting. Will under 6K player finish in the top 40? 100%. I would bet at least 3 of them finish in the top 40. This is the tournament where the slappies can really compete. I mean that very sincerely. Do you like Neiman this week? I don't, but I'm probably going to play him. Does that make sense, Colin? You got to just play the game, brother. $6,500 or less should have in my player pool of a 20 max. If I'm doing 20 lineups, I probably got about 16 guys in my player pool. I would have maybe 2 or 3 that would be under 6,500. Monday Dynamo, this is your second question. Don't make me boot your ass. Hard to get a read on some of the lower live guys. Neiman, dude, answer at under 1% is crazy. I played a massive weather edge last week, still had 0-6 of 6s. Is it fail-safe? No. All you're trying to do is give yourself an edge. Last week was brutal when it came 6 of 6s, right? I went all in on that same wave edge. I only have 1 of 18, right? Sometimes it doesn't help that I have 4 guys miss the cut on the number. That's just how it breaks sometimes, Chris. All you can do is try to get yourself in the best position and then hope it works out. If you play poker, just think of it like this. You're getting it in with pocket queens, and you just hope that the fucking Jack 10 suited doesn't beat you, right? That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And then you get mad at the dickhead that called you a Jack 10 suited. Is Hideki a higher leverage play than DJ? For sure. I would bet it's like a 3-to-1 thing. Ropat, new dad narrative? I didn't even know that, right? So there's a little baby Ropat out there. How cute. How cute. I guess I'm in. I guess I'm in on Ropat now. When you have a soft course, is it particularly shot making that might boost? What it does is it really helps strong approach players. Morikawa, Thomas, guys like that who can really throw darts benefit from softer courses more, in my opinion. Which 2 players or price range would you avoid playing together? The range that I think I'm going to be avoiding is probably this low 9K. Just too much chalk in there. I'll just go above it or below it. I think that's where I'm at. First week of the website Discord stoked. How bad of an idea is it to play 3 probable winners, Sheffield, Rory, and Rahm? I mean, if you're doing enough lineups and you get maybe 33% of all of them, I think it's viable. Because if you get 33% of Sheffield, Rahm, and Rory, you're going to basically be twice the field average on all of them, right? Mike, thanks for the super chat, brother. Are we dusting off Richard Bland? You know, I've been looking at old Richard Bland, and I'll be the first to tell you he's a little plain, but he does kind of seem like he's playing a little bit, and we know he can play at the Open, so I don't mind it. I'll tell you, he'll be 1%. Lots of game theory. That's what we do here, Gregory. Pair Scheffler and Hatton. Yeah, if you want to have the same start as 47% of everybody else. Solver, 349 projection, the nuts. I mean, that seems, wait, is that for a week long? That seems pretty low. But I mean, I guess that's solid. This is going to be a lower scoring week because there's just not going to be as many birdies out there being in tougher conditions. How many Euros would you play? 3 or 4, or does it matter? I don't give any thought to that. I will play some Euros, but when I'm making an individual lineup, I never say, I've got to have 3 Euros in here, right? This ain't World War II, bro. I'm shocked. Usti didn't make the honorable mention. Do you think he's also going to be Donkey Chalk? I do. I think he gets steamed up, Alex, to at least 10 or 12%, and that will make him Donkey Chalk, and I'm still going to play him. All right, from there. Oh, man, I can smell dinner right now. Smells delicious. Will McIntyre make the cut? Probably. I'm fading him. Are you playing in 2 different 3-max tourneys? Do you enter the same lineup? So, Rich, that's a really good question. I think that there's a very viable strategy to just play the same lineups in all your 3-maxes. But what I like to do is I want to get exposure to all the guys in my player pool. So I'm playing in probably about 4 or 5 different 3-maxes this week, and I will have a different lineup for every single one of them, right? Is Spieth going to get steamed up? Not a chance in hell, Bob. Not a chance in hell. Do you have a certain number percentage-wise that you don't like to go over? Bill, it's all about product ownership and not cumulative ownership. Come over to the site. We have a whole thing on that. Highest owned guy who misses the cut. Highest owned guy that misses the cut. Bobby Mack. I just said he'd make the cut. I'm a piece of shit. What is the chance that a lineup without a live or DP guy can take a large GPP? What is the chance? Likely. Those guys are not necessarily doing well, so likely 25%. Is Patrick Reed a god among men? If I fade him, he is. Stinson worth a look? Yes, I like Stinson. I'm on Team Old Guy this week. I'm sorry, you need to know that up front. Almost at 600 watchers. Smash the like button. Thanks, P-Lou. 438 likes. Cannot believe we got to 600 people. This is a sweaty community that's growing every day. What's up, T-Swen? Is Xander first round leader? I like that. Especially if he's in the morning. I would only bet him if he's in the morning. I think the morning guys really get after this course tomorrow, Bill. I feel like a question will eventually be insert player name, a good play. Man, Rasmus, you get it, and I hate those questions. Bobby Mack, got to be accept when we do guy, right? I mean, it makes sense. He makes all the sense in the world, and that's why he doesn't make sense. How much weight are you putting on the Scottish Open? Quite a bit, Micah. I wanted guys who played last week, and preferably I want guys who were showing some type of life last week, right? I don't want guys who are just coming over and knocking off the dust. I really like the guys who played last week. Degen the Degen. What a effing name, brother. Goodness gracious, what a name. Who's the 6K guy that will 100% make the cut? If I had to bet my right testicle on a 6K guy that would make the cut, I would go with Bjork. Bjork will make the cut. Or Jordan Smith. One of those two will make the cut. I could throw him the 6th guy in my cash lineup, but I don't play cash, so it's easy for me to say that. John Daly, Thursday Showdown. Yes, Ricky, if they cut it off after 3 holes when he'll be leading. Do you like Brooks' chances to take down this week? I did until I saw his group. Look, I think Brooks is kind of a ticking time bomb, and you put him with old Neckbeard and Hideki, probably 2 of the 3 slowest players in the world. I think he's going to be tilting balls. If he's not playing good, he is going to melt down. That's my prediction. I have a soft spot for Neiman. Justifiable here? Definitely. I think Neiman at 5% is a very good play, Levi. What's going on, you filthy DJ? What's up, John? Anyone else rocking 80% Gooch? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're probably pretty unique on that one, brother. Which higher 6K guy are you fading? Bobby Mack. I mean, what are we talking about here? What factors do you consider when calculating ownership projections? That recent play? No, it's mainly projections. It's what the touts are saying. It's the aggregate of the community. It's past trends. It is talent relative to their price. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Morikawa this week, at 11%, I'm a lot more interested in him than I was when I thought he would be 18%. Any thoughts on 5K thoughts, boss man? John, I'm definitely playing some of the 5K guys. There's my thoughts on it, Bob. There's my thoughts. Is Cam Young fixing himself? I like to think so, but at the same time, 9,000 is a big price to eat at a course that I don't know that, he kind of strikes me as a Neanderthal, and I don't think that he's going to be a great fit on a links style course. Bruce says, 3-max better to keep the last $2 guys across 3 lineups and mix the higher price. I like that, yeah. Keep all your high price guys, or if you really want to be ballsy, go keep the bottom 3 guys the same and mix and match the top, because that's where all the win equity is. That's the real nuts play, right? Keep your bottom guys the same. All right, glad you guys like the moonwalk. Let's see, moving on. Joanne, DGen75, member for life. Now everyone smash the like button. Joanne gets it. And she knows her presidents. The lady is a legend. Player pool size for a 250. So, Justin, when I do 250 lineups, I would probably be around 30 to 34 players. That's where I would be. Moving on, looking for questions. Wasn't Oakquake an 89? I corrected myself, Nuggets. You pumped the brakes, sir. What are you drinking tonight? Ranch water for life. Is The Hobbit going to win? I will tell you, I've heard that Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth is based on 14th century England. And so because of that, you got to assume that with the Open Championship being there this week, that Middle-earth is under attack. And when Middle-earth's under attack, who do you want more than The Hobbit? It's a narrative I could run with. Playing for 50% on Sammy Burns? I mean, I like some Sammy Burns. I don't know about 50%, bruh. I don't know about that, especially if he has to get it out of a bunker. Ayo! All right. Thoughts on Gordon Richie Ramsey? I like very much, very good. Who is the good resource to follow for any last-minute WDs? I think Rob Bolton is pretty good on that. He's really good at putting the guys that replace him. I don't know how good he is at doing the withdrawals. That's a great question. I honestly don't know. I'm really trying to get off Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. How do I not have somebody shoot +10 on Sunday when we fix this? Brock, that's the worst part of PGA DFS. You can be the most strategic, well-thought-out, informed player, get so many 6-6s through, be in great position, have tons of win equity heading into Sunday, and your guys can still melt down, and there ain't shit you can do about it. All right, that's the dirty little secret about PGA DFS. All these people that claim to be so good at it, just go look. Did you luck sack on the weekend? All right, that's what really tells it to me. Or did you have people that are really good at PGA DFS are consistently getting higher 6-of-6 rates through. They're consistently having guys getting to the weekend that are in the top 10 more than everybody else. That's the real sign. Because once it gets to the weekend, if you're like, I need a guy that's going to be T47 heading into Saturday, so he'll be out there in the morning conditions, because the morning conditions are going to be easier on Saturday, and he'll be able to go get the course and backdoor and really make a rally on Saturday. Those guys are so full of shit, their eyes are turning brown. You don't listen to them. What's up, old guy? What's up, brother? How many holes until Brooks is tilted being paired with Cantlay? I would say at least by the second green. Am I crazy for fading Rory and Scheffler? I mean, in a single entry, it makes a lot of sense. If you're doing MME, that's pretty bold, Bob. Pretty bold. Drive right, avoid. I don't want guys who are missing drives to the right. So I have that on my model. It's over on the stone. Go look it up, Bob. Why can't I see the video? I don't know. Maybe you got that slapdick internet. Deep Fat on the stone. Is pricing relationship the comparison between DK and FanDuel? That's the answer. So if we look at their FanDuel price and we adjust it based on what it should be on DraftKings, and sometimes they're much better values than you would think they would be, right? Editor, don't forget to draw those 4 names. It should be 4.5. We got 450 likes. My God, man. My God. Let's see. Look and moving on. A lot of people liked whole what's his name? Cam. Hav and Scheffler are my favorites. Betting does 12.5 make them exponentially harder and worth it? I mean, I think that putting those two guys together, Johnny Betts, is all the better, because I don't think anybody's going to pair those two together, and I think those guys have a lot of win equity between them. Such a great community. What are you guys waiting for? Go sign up. I mean, Chris gets it. It's a pretty big community. Pretty big. All right, moving on. Let's see. Chat's freezing on me here. Here's the chats. Let's see. I got a couple more. I'm going to do 5 more questions. Let's see here. Nobody playing Spieth. Okay, Bob? Yeah, you know what I'm doing, Bob. Will John Daly smoke the course? Not a chance. Well, for 3 holes he will. He'll be 3 under through 2. Or 2 under through 3, excuse me. Is Rory a loser this week? No, Rory's a loser every week, okay? Every week. You think last week's going to change my opinion? The guy's a fucking loser. What do we got? Thoughts on DJ? I really like him, Sam. And I want to play him, but I don't think I'm going to. Which saddens me. I want to play him. He kind of checks my box on what I want, especially if this course is going to play a little softer. I like me some DJ. Yeah, I do, boy. Yeah, I do. Maybe I'll put him in some of my Millie Maker tickets. All right, Adam Altieri, Robert Bickerstaff, Waylon Effin Jennings, and Rick's Photography. All of you, Millionaire Maker tickets on me, or we can do it at Showdown, whatever you want to do, okay? Do you think Scotty and Rory build in small fields? I think it will probably only be about 2% of lineups, but I got to tell you, when you're playing in a small field, I don't think you want to get weird like that, right? That's a build that I don't think, if you're going to do that, you're going to end up with 2 or 3 punts in your lineup, and you're getting so different that I don't think you really need to do that in small fields, right? I don't see any viable picks under 6K. Anybody else? I disagree. I see some guys under 6K. You're not open to North Fence. You're not open to Seam. You're not open to Richie Ramsey. I disagree, sir. Which do you prefer? A high accuracy driver who isn't long, or a bomber? Well, based on what I heard today, Sheldon, I think I want bombers who might be a little wild. Yes, I do not want guys who miss right, but I also think that, like, if you're constantly hitting short and you have 208 yards into every green, I also think you're going to get your ass kicked around here, okay? Last 2 questions. What is the new pricing? Do punts start at 7,500? Basically, that's just an arbitrary number I make up. But 7,000, 7,500, I think it's basically all the same. Ferguson, Griffin, Ramsey, Herbert a look. I don't do questions like that, bro. Sorry. Will Hideki top 10? I don't think so, but I think he's worth a bet. Is Harman ownership somewhat in check by Denny? Yes, it is. I think that those two, along with there was somebody else right there in that range, are going to keep each other from getting too out of line. Siwoo was also there. Brian Harman. Ryan Fox is also the other one. And last question, does the new pricing and reasonable chances of Scotty not being the most optimal even if he wins? I think that does happen. I think that it's going to make 4 9K guys much more viable than it has been in the past. And those 9K guys, the truth is they're not that much worse than Scotty. They're all really elite players, especially if you can get them all to finish in the top 10. And when they're in the 9Ks, finishing in the top 10 is not crazy. Guys, go get in my contest. It's right here in the description. I still need 200 and something of you to go fill it. Don't make me look like an asshole. Fill it. Don't forget to come check out Round 2 Showdown. We will be doing it. What will that be? Tomorrow around noon or 1, whenever the round ends. Be there live. I'll be giving away tickets. All of you, reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to me on the Discord. Thank you for 600 of you motherfathers being here. Thank you, Cam Smith and Heartbreak Kid, for that intro. Thank you for all the super chats, which disappeared. I saw Nick. I saw Nuggets. I saw all of you. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are legends. I couldn't do it without you. I'm going to make it up to you. I don't know how to get to it faster, but what I do know is how to get to this outro. Enjoy it, you motherfather.